Welcome back. You here with Goldberg. Today I'll be talking about the bear versus man-child meme. Is it serious? Should we even care? I'm always hesitant because the new flavor of the month bubbles up on the internet every couple of weeks, and you go, is this legit? Or is this being done such that people can generate content that will get hits and views? Maybe Andrew Tate paid a woman to write this article. I'm not entirely certain, but wouldn't surprise me. Just to summarize, the bear versus man is this idea that if a woman was lost in the woods, she would prefer the company of a bear over a strange man because he could be a predator. And here are some of the remarks these females make. Worst thing a bear can do is kill me. No bear is going to hold me in a basement for 20 years. A bear will not seek my suffering. Debatable. A bear can be reasoned with is so scary. Exactly. That bear isn't out to hurt anyone from malice. It's just being a bear. That's really tone deaf and remarkable coming from a woman. But all being said, it could be that whole aspect. You know how female comedians typically suck? And that's due to the fact they don't have self awareness. Rodney Dangerfield, George Carlin, they had self awareness. Women usually their humor is directed at trying to get back at guys who pumped and dumped them, but it comes off as crass, vulgar, and just insulting. It's not like a guy will dish it forth, and a guy can do it to both genders, whereas women are usually very bad at pranking or parroting men for a variety of reasons. There are a few exceptions, especially some English figures, but I'm not going to go into that right now. My contention is that most guys lost in the wood wouldn't even bother approaching or making eye contact with a woman. That's because they know it's basically over. You'll see young men in like the grocery store, other venues, they won't bother going down the aisle for check lanes that has the attractive girl. They'll go for the granny, the old dude, or self checkout because they know nothing's probably going to happen. And me being a little bit more sociable, I'll start a conversation with a chick. Sometimes other dudes will try to cut in at that point, but otherwise they're just going to stay in their lane because say, what the hell? What are you going to achieve? On top of that, we have a study. This is a small one, so don't take it as sainted truth. Women are very bad at detecting flirtation. This makes sense as they spend most of their lives from a young age getting positive feedback. Older men, guys who have ulterior motives, praising their clothing, their hair, their appearance, their intelligence, whatever it might be. So that's going to germinate a mindset where they go, oh, I must be a good person. I've got a great personality. Everyone's being kind to me. And they can't differentiate between that and, oh, he's actually interested, which is, this causes some dudes to go, WTF, you thought I was just being your friend? But getting beyond even that, this most guys are predators, too many of them could try something. You could translate it as that guys I don't find attractive are probably predators because it's easier for them to say on a social basis, he could do something bad to me than to admit he's just ugly. This is why a guy who's decent looking, tall, he makes an approach, it's cute and complimentary. When you saw the thing with Caitlin Clark recently, that reporter, he's a bald cell and a creep. Nevertheless, these memes provide ample ammunition for content creators in the manosphere to rage. We probably have at least 100 plus video responses thus far, and it's the usual. These degenerate women, they want to sleep with the Berenstain Bears. I caught my 304 sister getting down with Binky Barnes. Wait, was Binky Barnes a bear or something else? I know Francine was a Care Bear, but she was also a monkey. And then Muffy was a monkey as well, but a Protestant. Perhaps Buster, he was a power bottom. I have no clue. The point being, this could easily just be some distraction. You know, the Care Bear officials are talking about bringing Gazan refugees to the U.S., so don't focus on that. Focus on this silly little internet meme. Just saying. The more important discussion we can extract from this meme is that both men and women are fundamentally maladapted to the modern world, society, and economy. Men in particular, their destiny for almost all is to be a beta bucks deluxe. And you'll see this. I was having a discussion recently with this African brother, and I said, marriage makes no sense. Changed my mind. And he was like, no, man, Goldberg, you gotta get married, give your money to your wife and kids. And in a way, he's correct. What's the point of stacking all this fiat? Like, if you were to tell me I have a specific goal, I want to go and feed the poor, be an artist. But this kind of identifying with money as a flex that you're financially independent, at times it really makes you question, what are people doing? Anytime you see a Aaron Clary video, which is about how to retire early, you'll have this ubiquitous comment that gets upvoted, and it's like, in my 40s, all this bread stacked to the bank, toys paid off, including an extra large penis pump, and women, they just wish they could be with a guy like me, but I don't flaunt my wealth, so they will never know. And you're going, you can feel the pain in those comments, where these dudes, in an ideal world, would be making it rain for some woman and children. That's what they are designed to do, but because they can't attain that, they have to kind of do that. Oh, I bet you are sad you're not with a beta bucks like me. It's just quite interesting, and I don't think it's ever going to go away. In fact, if you broach certain black pill topics, guys will have literal mental breakdowns, men who claim to be red pilled or conservative, because they cannot accept the fact that this is outmoded or will not function in some sense for a great deal of the male population. For women, the reality is they don't enjoy taking responsibility. There is this condition, they call it hypengaiaphobia, which is fear of taking ownership, not just of a role, responsibility, but the consequences of what you do and your administration in a particular position. This is why, if you notice, when they come out of a relationship, the first thing they will do is say, well, it was abusive. He was manipulating me. They don't go, I made a mistake. It's that guy, he was the villain, because they're trying to wipe the slate clean so that the next dude who's trying to come to the rescue goes, I'm the knight in shining armor. I'm saving you from this bastard demon, but you have no agency in that entire interaction. It explains why they want to choose the bear, mind you. And so we arrive at the Tim Treadwell pill. So Brother Amr Matwali said, Tim Treadwell tried to tame the grizzly bear. And that's why we have to play that clip of Werner Herzog. This is horrible. You must delete this. No one should hear it. And it was a sad story. Tim Treadwell went out to make these authentic nature documentaries with the grizzly bears. And a particular nasty variety attacked him and his girlfriend. He was trying to protect her, but they both got eaten. Now, why would women prefer the grizzly bear? Well, in pretty much every society going back hundreds of years, women lived at the pleasure of powerful men who either had resources or the ability to command force or both. They didn't really make choices outside of their realm, like maybe childbearing, whatever responsibilities and tasks they had to shoulder. And that's, in one strange sense, what they want. The average dude today, what is he going to do? Parody, equalitarian, what's your opinion, milady? You're a co-equal. And as much as they might on paper, women would say, yes, that's what I want, it doesn't jive well with their evolution, if you want to call it that, their psyche. They would prefer a guy to just come up and say, this is how it's going to be, end of story. And the grizzly bear is going to say, yeah, you're getting down with me or I'm going to have you for dinner. And I'm not even going to suggest that no men have ever tried to get down with bears. I mean, what I understand, Yogi Zero Abs was hanging out with bears pretty much every weekend, but not necessarily the bears you would find in the forest. It just simplifies stuff for women. Remember that film Annihilation? That they were totally incompetent at this rescue mission, and then that mutant bear showed up and devoured their friend. They were helpless. It's kind of a metaphor for how the world's supposed to function. And I'm making this observation as a tofu empowered liberal, by the way. As Mystery School would say, this is all in Minecraft. But I do believe, sincerely, if men just started asserting themselves and didn't give a crap, women would actually respond to that and society would change dramatically. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just pointing it out. That could be the case. So, yeah, much like the Barbie movie, which I saw recently, and truthfully, it's not a feminist flick. The Barbie movie was a parody of the fact that women are never satisfied. They're never happy. This man bear meme is just a signaling of, we don't want those guys who are trying to treat us as co-equal citizens in a progressive democracy. We want to be in a role where we don't have to worry about that, because he's just saying it's my way or you can kick rocks. Back in the day, of course, meant they probably wouldn't survive. So Let me know what you think about the bears, the men, and Tim Treadwell.